Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa. I'm the CEO at Thru. This is my co-founder, Christina. You can introduce yourself.
Yeah. I'm Christina. I'm also the co-founder at Thru.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys a little scenario, and I want you to really imagine it. So imagine you're sitting on the toilet. You left your phone in the other room, and you're really sad about that because you're super bored. So what do? You take a shampoo bottle that's right next to you, and you turn it over and you start reading, like any person would, right? When you turn over that shampoo bottle and start reading, you notice that there's an ingredients list. You take a look at it, and you're like, I literally don't know what any of these words are. And no shame, I am a chemist myself, and sometimes I don't even know what those ingredients are. And so this is not just a you problem. So in fact, 81% of consumers actually don't understand the ingredients in their personal care products. And this actually leads to a movement that I'm sure we've all felt, which is an increase in transparency around our beauty products. Things like the clean beauty movement, and more people demanding more from CPG companies. And so this isn't just beauty or personal care. These are things like food, supplements, fragrances, even tampons are getting ingredients lists in an effort for an increase in transparency. But the problem with these efforts is that they're often fractionated, leaving the consumer quite confused. And what I mean by that is you might go to one company and they say this ingredient is a miracle, right? This ingredient will make you 10 years younger instantly. And you might go to another company and they say that ingredient will give you cancer. So how do you really differentiate between that as a consumer? And so that's why we created Thru, which is the first unified ingredients platform that both satisfies consumers' demand for transparency through unique consumer tools that sit on e-commerce sites. And the data insights that we collect from that, we're creating into an insights platform for brands, which powers their transparency. And we call that transparency as a service, or TAS.
So essentially, we're a widget that plugs into any brand or retailer site, giving their consumers all the information they need when it matters most, just before the point of purchase. We're serving up our jargon-free ingredient descriptions through a clickable ingredients list. And you can see at the top of the ingredient card here, the symbols and the tags. And we use this system of symbols and tags so you can know at a glance exactly what the ingredient's function is. If you scroll up to the top of the widget, besides seeing the name of the product and the brand name of where this product is, you could also see these same symbols mirrored here. And these symbols at a glance will let you know how this product actually works and how these ingredients are working. And if you click on these symbols, it highlights all of the ingredients in this product that do that work. But let's say I want to read more about an ingredient and see what it actually does. I could click on it and read a 1 to 2 sentence description sourced from the primary scientific literature about the ingredient's function, but written in plain English so everyone can understand. And we currently, and we currently have a database of almost 10,000 of these ingredient descriptions.
Yeah, so basically we are decoding ingredients with a single click, and you can do it all while you're shopping so that you don't need to go down the Google rabbit hole, basically, of finding out what that ingredient actually does. So right now, Chemist Confessions is one of the first companies that we launched with. You can go check it out on your phone, chemistconfessions.com. It's mobile friendly. We have another company with us right now, and we have a couple more companies that we're onboarding. Right now, we are in the Sephora Accelerate program, Sephora, like the big beauty retailer, and we have a demo day with them in September. So we are onboarding as many companies as possible, trying to cover as many ingredients lists, purely because of two reasons. We truly believe that people, up close. We truly believe that people should have a right to this kind of information at their fingertips, not having to pore over Google and read all these like clickbaity titles and articles. And second, we also are collecting a lot of data on it, which will Christina can talk about.
So probably the coolest part of this product is something that you didn't notice, and it's right at the bottom of every ingredient card. It's the do you like this ingredient feedback portion, where consumers can upvote and downvote ingredients. So consumers, and this data goes right to the brand or retailer. So consumers will be able to let the retailer know, hey, I like this ingredient, I want to see this in more products, or hey, I could actually live without this ingredient in this product. And this real real-time ingredient engagement data is unique to us and can be used for anything from letting retailers and brands better engage with their consumers, ingredient content marketing, and this data can be brought to the table to formulate better products. This data is the future of shopping, and we see it as a way to create better products.
Yeah, for sure. So we're actually one of the first companies to really collect this kind of data. One of our first companies is already using it as feedback for her formulation. So it's really awesome. But don't just think beauty. Think of anything with an ingredients list. This can be applied to things like food, supplements, which is in desperate need for transparency, fragrances, and really anything else. Even Bud Light just put an ingredients list on their beer, which sounds random, but they thought that was a good business decision because transparency is on the rise. So our ask for you guys tonight is, while we're not raising a round right now, we're raising a round in September, so hit us up then or hit us up now, that's fine. But we are looking for a founding engineer to help build out the insights platform for this product that we're going to be selling to companies. So if you really love data and you're also interested in transparency, we'd love to talk to you afterwards. Thanks.
Hi, great presentation. Quick question on the ingredients feedback portion. So I can see how you'd like to know if customers like to use lavender versus mango or versus some wildflower honey flavor. But in isolation, dimethiocin or ceramic EOP, how would that feedback be useful, and how can that be collected in a better way?
So are you talking about like kind of collecting data on isolated ingredients?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I love this question because it's something we're really working towards. So right now it's on ingredient by ingredient basis, and you kind of take that information to your formulator and use that information along with the formulator to make better products. But as we go along within our database, we're actually building out some really interesting connections of ingredients that work synergistically in formulation, and all that stuff can actually come together in its own engine to help brands create better products. So that's what we're working towards.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So to that point, how does the layman kind of understand what that ingredient does within the product? Is that the part of the education piece in the ingredients list?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our 1 to 2 sentence descriptions is really just like great for consumers who want to know a little bit more. Eventually, we will be actually adding in some more in-depth information for those people who really want to dive deep, but the majority of the consumers just kind of want simple information that they can get at their fingertips.
Marco had a question up here.
Yeah, hey, Marcos Dinnerstein here.
Hi.
Not a question, just a suggestion. For your engineer hunt, you might check with the folks at Beta NYC. There's probably some like-minded people there, and Civic Hall. So if you circulate this request to those 2 communities, you might have some luck.
Cool. Thank you so much.
I have a question. So I understand the benefits from the company standpoint, but from a consumer standpoint, for example, I probably own 6 different eye creams, and I'm a huge product junkie. And so is there a way for you to eventually tell me that maybe I like this product because it has these ingredients in it, so the next time I go, I look for these ingredients?
Hell yeah. I love this question. So this is my favorite part. So that's an amazing question. So we're actually working on a personalized side to this. So it'll actually, you can answer a couple questions on your skin, your needs. If you got allergies, if you've got personal ingredient preferences, I have a ton of allergies, so I get this. And we can actually use that to create recommendations for companies. And this information kind of stays within you, and it can be kind of circulated across all of the brands that have our product on their website. So let's say Sephora has our product and Ulta has our product. If you go to Sephora.com, it'll recommend you products within Sephora's store. And if you were to go to Ulta.com, it'll recommend you products within Ulta store, but based on your profile. So that's how we would do it, because obviously brands don't want us recommending outside their ecosystem. But yeah, great question.
Hi. So what would it look like for a description if research was contradictory? There wasn't conclusive evidence of it going one way or the other. How do you deal with that?
Such a great question. So let's use I'll use the most controversial one, parabens. I think you probably have heard of the ingredient parabens. It's like on every label, it's like paraben free. But important to note, most people think it's like nail in the coffin, science has decided that this ingredient is bad. But if you ask any chemist, any formulator, they will actually tell you, no, that's not true. Parabens only have one study that could potentially maybe say that it's not good, but people kind of ran with that study. But it also has 50 years of safety data behind it, which most people don't talk about. So we actually present both sides, very neutral, very equally. Our goal is to have the most neutral voice that consumers can read, digest, and make their own decision. We're not trying to make decisions for people, which I think is the problem right now.
So you would explain the discrepancy.
Yeah.
You would say, it does this according to this research. Other research says it does this and then this. We're not sure. And up to the consumer to choose from there.
Yeah, we basically try, maybe not exactly like that, but we present kind of just a neutral story of like the data that's out there about that ingredient, and we allow the consumer to make the choice. But in my opinion, consumers can make any choice they want that's right for them as long as they're educated on the topic. Most of the time, consumers just say, oh, most people told me to stay away from parabens, don't know what they are, but I guess I will, and that's not great.
So they still need brains. Got it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody.
Thanks.
We're going to end on that question. Round of applause.
Thank you.